My name is Mateus. I'm from Brazil. I'm a history teacher here in Brazil, and I'll talk about myself, my education, my formation, and why I went to go to the International Youth Festival this year. So I come from a poor family here in Brazil, and education was always seen as a tool to personal and professional development by my family uh, and by myself. I always studied in a public institution since the primary school to the university, and that make me believe that education can change the world by changing the people, as the Paulo Freire says. Um, when I was in high school, I take a technical program in IT, and I learn how to program and make softwares. But I don't choose that path to a professional career. I always like social studies and social science, and I choose history as my career. I have a degree in history, and I also have a degree in pedagogy. In both, I learn how the education is a key to make the world better, to make the society better. When I was in pedagogy, I started my research. In my research, I analyzed the public educational policies in Brazil. My focus is on privatization and the negative effects that the privatization have in the educational system, public system here in Brazil. The thing that I try to understand is how the private sector are disputing with the funding of the education and by the implementation of digital platforms. And that those digital platforms, instead of banning the educational cause a positive impact in the education, are causing negative effects with the working conditions are getting worse, the quality of education are getting worse. So I try to think the use of technology and that kind of privatization critically. In my work as a history teacher, I use a lot of that multidisciplinary formation to merge technology and critical thinking in the classes. I use a lot of active methods like gamification and learning through projects with my students, and that increases the engagement of them in the classes. One example that I use often is models. I do 3D modeling and 3D printing, and that is an example of a T34 that I use in my classes. We do some war games or tabletop games, and those kind of examples, those kind of activities make them get such more engagement in the classes. Another example, I will put some examples in here and some images, is the UN simulation. The students got to research the countries that are part of the UN Council, and they need to they represent them in a simulation of the UN, and then in that simulation they will discuss problems that we have in the world today, and searching solutions and what those countries can do about it. And it's a very engaging platform to the students. I want to participate in the festival because I see it as an opportunity to create some kind of network where researchers and people that are interested in education can exchange experiences, knowledge, and in the case of the countries, developing countries like Brazil, sometimes we see our problems are some kind of isolated problems, but other countries also have similar problems as we have. So by creating that kind of network, we can exchange experience and try to create a common solution to those problems. And I hope that going to the festival, I can bring a lot of knowledge of other country educational systems on how they try to overcome the problems that they have and try to help my country in their development. And I can bring some of my knowledge and in technology, in education, and what we are seeing here in Brazil to other countries and help them as well. That's the goal I have with the event, and I hoping that I can go and create this experience, this exchange with other people in the world and other people who thinks that education is that way we can transform the world and develop our countries and better our lives as a whole.